Hi friends, today I wanted to talk about a few photos that I've taken recently that were taken in what I would call unique situations. A majority of photos that you will take as a photographer are taken in what I would like to call not unique situations. This may be discouraging, however, I see it as an opportunity to bump into some walls and grow yourself as a photographer. I love photographers that can take a seemingly mundane situation that a lot of photographers would avoid and make beautiful photos. This is the first photo that I want to take a look at today, and I would consider this a unique situation unless you grew up in the Salt Lake Valley, which is where I live now. I didn't grow up here, so I think this place is a freaking wonderland. Or you live in Iceland. This is a photo of my wife. I like her. I think she's hot, on the edge of the Great Salt Lake, and there happened to be a dense fog that was rolling through that day. If I remember correctly, it was from wildfires in the west. Edge of the Great Salt Lake, one variable of uniqueness. Fog, another. And the fog had an interesting effect on the dynamic of this photo. One, it had a dramatic atmospheric quality to it. Two, it limited visibility. There are actually mountains in the distance behind these sailboats, but you can't see them here. And three, it had a dimming effect to where you could take a photo of the sun and it looks like what it actually is, which is a big orange fireball, as opposed to something, a big white blob of light that if you stare at it long enough, your retinas will burn out, or you'll have some sort of psychedelic experience, which may be pleasurable, but then you die. I love the light dynamic here, and I love the way the compositional elements come together in a bit of a poetic imperfection, if you will. And an example of that is the group of sailboats. We have a group of 3 on the left, and then a group of 2, and then one in the middle. And it would make sense to move the one in the middle over to the right to be with the, and create 2 groups of 3. You could do that in Photoshop, not this guy. I appreciate how the bottom third of the photo is inhabited by the sailboats and the beach with my wife on it. And then the top third is inhabited by nothing but the sun in the top left corner. This photo has a very otherworldly and bizarre quality to it, and I think it's emotionally engaging because of all of these elements coming together. Number 2, we have a photo of a firefighter who is preparing to put out a fire that was started by fireworks on a little thing called Pioneer Day, which is this concept where you take a place that is prone to wildfires and we add another day to the year where we shoot fireworks into the air and cause more wildfires across the entire state of Utah. It's really amazing. Luckily, they caught it while it was small. Well done, firefighters. But this photo is a bit less unique than the last one in the sense that you too can go chase down a fire truck if you're like me, and when you hear sirens you get excited, jump in the car. I've been doing this since I was a kid, by the way. You can ask my parents. I was 4 years old, hopping in the family car, driving up the road to chase down a fire truck, take photos of a fire. That caused a lot of problems. There are a few things that make this photo come together like it does. One being the light dynamic, where you have crucial points of light hitting the firefighter and lighting the firefighter from the back. And so you have the fire and the smoke being lit up by the fire, sort of serendipitously separating the firefighter from the background. And then you have a red light that's hitting the back of the firefighter, which also creates a sense of context because you know that that's probably coming from an emergency vehicle. The fire also provides context because it shows that something's on fire. This could have easily been a photo where the lighting situation was not where it was and you end up with like this vague shadow of a human-shaped figure. It's really just a picture of a fire. One thing I love about this photo is I know how hard it is to take a compelling photo in a situation like this. I feel like I've had many a time where I look at the back of the camera and I go, oh, okay, that one's not gonna change the world. All of these elements come together to tell the story of this photo in a compelling way. I appreciate how he's dragging the hose all the way across the frame, which also creates context. You know what he's going to do, and I appreciate his stride. This next photo is taken in a situation that I would call another unique situation. I did not get to see paragliders paragliding until I moved to Utah, and now they're everywhere. I've learned a lot about it. I'm fascinated by this idea of running off of a hill and flying around for as long as the wind shall carry you. I thought you just walked off of a hill and you went down, and hopefully where you landed was where you wanted to land. You can control these things. You can go up and down, left, right, diagonal. If you go fast enough, you can enter another dimension. The idea that I would love to get across in this video is that wherever you are, it is a good time to practice and create skills and learn how to tell a story with whatever dynamic you are working with, so that when you come into this situation, this very glorious situation with beautiful wheat and mountains and light and what have you, paragliders and such moving at quick paces, you are prepared to leverage the situation to the fullest capacity. One of the things I did here was element stacking, where you have the foreground of the wheat. I guess it's not wheat, it's grass, but one of the things I did here was I stacked the elements of the photo, where in the foreground you have the tall wheat grass, and in the middle ground you have the person, in the background you have the sky and the mountains. This creates a sense of depth and is very intriguing to the eye. If you notice, I also put the person in the middle of an opening between the wheat grass. I appreciate the color dynamic here. There are three basic colors in this photo: brown, blue, and red. And anytime you can create that minimalistic of a color palette and the colors, assuming the colors work together well, you end up with a shot that is very pleasing as well. I think I was also able to achieve what to me is a unique perspective on a paraglider. This is one of the more unique photos I've taken at this location. I've been to this location quite a few times, and I want to squeeze all of the juices it has out of it. I find that to be very exciting, and I just filmed a photo walk that will be up soon, hopefully, if everything goes well and I actually turn my camera on, where it snowed there. So one way to take a not so unique situation and make the best out of it is to sort of elevate your thinking and try to push through some barriers in your mind to find more unique perspectives on things. This is how we grow. It's just like your body growing. Well, that's actually involuntary. Bad example. Anyway, that's it for this video. I would love to hear your thoughts. Please feel free to engage below. I will engage back with you. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked what I'm up to, like it. If you liked it enough, you can subscribe. Have a lovely day. Goodbye.